What's up, guys? It's your boy Watch Jimmy Ball, and to everybody watching, happy holidays and Merry Christmas. This will be the last video in the set of 3 for the color grading kind of chronicles that I did featuring the beautiful Miss Lisette. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and that you've learned something throughout the whole thing. So with that being said, let's get into this last video. All right, so we got this image completely cleaned off. We're starting from scratch. Let's go back up to the top and close some of these tabs. So with this image, it's a little different. It is harsh sunlight. So we have to treat the image like a nuclear bomb. Because at any given time, this thing can and will explode. So I was still going here and use my Sony recommended LUT, which is the type A. But as you can see, it comes on and it's pretty gnarly. We're gonna go minus 75. We're gonna do 75, I mean, not minus. Minus 75 would be nothing. Yeah, it's not there. Let's actually do 50. So you got that on there. And then now the first, and I mean literally the most important step on this one, is gonna be desaturating the image and going to this first adjustment layer. We're gonna spend a lot of time here in this Lumascope and literally push and pull this image until we can find all the sweetness in it. So let's bring it all the way down to about 90. So we took it down about 0.5. We're gonna bring her skin down in those highlights. Push this back up a little bit. Now that we did that, white. That's cool. The blacks are in the right area. We want to play around with those shadows to see what we got, what's available. Before, after, before, after. You can already see the softness of the image starting to happen. But what I would do that would be probably extreme is I would bring this contrast slider down. And this is affecting the overall image at one time. Yeah. Go back here and let's see what we're looking like. You know, we like to bring this up to 125 and bam, woo! Dude, I was nervous. I didn't know if we was gonna be able to make this look like anything. That's a really tricky shot. Okay, but we did it though. This actually looks pretty nice. And we're gonna probably go back and adjust it a little bit more now that we got some color. Bring them shadows down just a bit. Not too much. Get our blacks back where we're supposed to be. Highlights are still good. And the overall saturation and contrast of the image looks good to me. Maybe a little bit more saturation. Take that up to 135. Look at us being all different. All right, after doing that, I'm in the wrong window. We got everything set up as far as our contrast and saturation. We also have our Rec. 709 LUT to convert it from log. With a little bit of added saturation, we boosted it up to 135. I feel like this image is properly white balanced, but not white balanced the way I would want it to be. So I would actually probably make this a little bit warmer here and a little bit more greener here. And I would keep pushing and pulling in that area until I saw what I liked. After doing that, I would probably deem the image ready to be color graded. Now we're at the top layer. Here at the top layer, we're gonna go to our favorite color wheels. This also controls your contrast, and often I don't use it, but in this case, like I said, you do what you gotta do to get the results you want. Let's get those blues and greens going on in here. I don't know what it is about green, but it's the bee's knees for me. Get a little bit of warmth, nuclear. You see how easily this image goes nuclear? You gotta be very, very careful. And then, let's see. You gotta find it, guys. Right about there. That looks good. Ah, that looks good. Let me get a little bit of that green out. Nope, not too much. I did much. I did much. Oh no. There we go. And then, where are you at? And I'm going for, like I said, this golden-y look. Fire. Fire. Cool. And this is me just bringing down the midtones of the image just a bit. So that way I can leave the highlights and the lows alone. Fire, fire, fire. All right, so back on the top layer, what we're gonna do is use the hue versus hue to kind of tame our colors and figure out where we want different colors in the image to lie. You know I like to make my blues more cyan. You know I like to make my purples more blue. And you know I like to make my cyans more cyan. In this image, we also have a lot of green. So we're gonna find a beautiful spot for that green to lay. And I'm feeling more blue today to separate it from the rest of the image. And then these yellows, let's push those towards the orange. And let's take that orange and make it just beautiful. We working something out, guys. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to massage the image and find what you want. That is nice. That is nice, nice. Let me see what we got up there. Yeah, that's that sky. And for me, I think I like the sky right about there. You can kind of see the difference in her pants, you can see the difference in her skin, you can see the difference in the sky. Just everything is kind of moving. But it's only moving slightly. Like I said, I don't try to over color grade my images. I try to get them right on the day. So now we're up here at the saturation part. We're gonna bring them down right there. We're gonna boost it up in this area. This one I'm probably gonna be more closer to the oranges. Before, after. I'm really liking that. Come up here, I think I'm gonna desaturate it again one more time. And I want to play around with the contrast levels, but using curves. And I want this top half to not be so nuclear. You see, as soon as I touch it, it explodes because it's so much information right there. And I'm actually gonna lift these shadows a bit. Like I said, to give it my little Instagram look. And I'm just looking for the sweet spots, man. I try not to get too much into secondary windows, because if I am, then it's more of like an advanced color grade, and that's something that I would do in DaVinci Resolve. So just leaving it right there, bringing the saturation back up to 100. This is Sparta. And yeah, I'm not too mad at this, man. I might throw a little extra green on there just because I'm a green fiend. Yeah, this is nice. Once again, I was super nervous. I gave myself a challenge right in front of you guys. And here's a cool part as well. So this second layer is still really affecting it kind of rough. You can come right over here to opacity and just turn it down. made it even softer, made it even more pretty. When I'm color grading images, I'm definitely trying to make them look pretty. And I know I said I wouldn't do it, but let's just for the sake of a tutorial, I'm gonna show you kind of what I would do for a secondary mask. Drop it directly on there. And then I would make a mask around her face. I feel like one of the tricks to color grading that a lot of people don't tell you is that you want your subject to be the brightest thing in the image. So with that being said, that's gonna require sometimes for you to do specialized work on their face, making their face stand out more than everything else. Before, after, before, after. Yeah, man, I love it. You could even go back and add a little extra, like a vignette, make it wide, open up that center point. Beautiful. Let's go look back at some of our other images too. Like we said, the perfect scenario, everything is beautiful. We started with nothing, and now we're here. But this one, you probably could add a vignette too if you wanted. I'm not a huge fan of vignettes anymore, unless it's in DaVinci Resolve, because Premiere's vignettes kinda suck. Let's go to the second image. Another beautiful shot. I probably would not add a vignette to this one. If I was gonna do a vignette, it would be a totally different way. I would add Lumetri directly to the clip. I would make a circle around her, like this. And then bring it down outside of her. And once again, you gotta be careful with the amount that something is affecting your image. You never want something to be super duper aggressive. It'll just look artificial and fake. So, if we were to turn this off, on, we barely want it there. And this is me just turning the opacity of that effect down. And then back to our last image. And after looking at the other ones, maybe I would bring down the shadows just a bit. But I would also probably add a little more blue. I feel like the Sony cameras do this weird thing when it comes to black getting hit by sunlight, and I have never really figured out the best solution for that. We can go back up here and try to take it out, but it's never ever been something that I was able to really fully knock out. Pretty much take all the things that I was talking about as principles, not exactly as direct application. You want your contrast levels to be set perfectly, you want your saturation to be set perfectly, and you want your skin tones to be beautiful. That is the main takeaway from all of this. I appreciate everybody for watching, and if you did enjoy this video, consider subscribing or hitting that like, thumbs up button. That definitely helps me out and helps out the channel. You guys have a good one, and peace. Just because I'm a green fiend.